Welcome back, everyone. So, I've been excited for the new 3v3 format that's going to be coming up with the introduction of the King of Fighters 15 Challenger Series at the end of this month, and I wanted to put my mind to work trying to figure out a really cool uh, trio that I could use. I knew I wanted to have each character share at least two symbols for maximum crossover, and then I thought, what if I took it one step further? What if I crossed the streams, so to speak, and I made a retro 3v3 deck? And this deck is probably why they will not cross the streams and let you do a retro 3v3 deck, because this deck, while not completely overpowered, is bad. It is not going to be a fun deck to play with. So, quick refresh. A 3v3 game is your one deck has to be standard legal, or in my case, retro legal, for all three of the characters you choose. And when you set up the game, you decide up front what order your characters go in. So you have your starting character, that character gets knocked out, you bring in your second character, and then your final character. So you do have to choose before the game begins what order your characters will be in. So my first two characters are kind of interchangeable, but also you just want to keep the last character in this deck as your last character, but the first and second characters you could swap in and out. Because this deck is a mill deck. And I know what you're thinking. In 3v3, it's impossible to mill someone out. Because when they would cycle, instead of shuffling their deck and removing 10 cards and continuing, they just shuffle their discard pile into their deck. They don't remove any cards, so cycling makes it impossible for people to mill in 3v3. And to that I say yes, but I also say I can still mill you out. Not by removing all the cards from your deck, but every time you cycle, at the end of the current turn, the player who cycled loses 2 health for every time they've cycled this game. So if you've cycled 4 times, you lose 8 health at the end of that turn. And that's after you lost 6, after you lost 4, after you lost 2. So I thought, could I make a turbo mill burn deck in retro 3v3? And I think I got it. So, it starts with Sir Night-Eye. He's a 627 with all, death, and order, and every character in this deck has all and death. Because, spoiler alert, those are the Team Elizabeth symbols. And Sir Night-Eye is replacing Shen on Team Elizabeth, because Shen can allow you to remove 1 card from your rival's discard pile per enhance, I think? Let's just look him up real quick as to why I didn't use him. If your attack is blocked, your opponent removes 2 cards in their discard pile from the game. So they get to choose, and it's only if they choose to block your attack. Which, spoiler alert, the attacks in this deck are not very powerful. They're very low damage, and they're mainly meant to use mill effects. So your rival's not going to want to block them because they can just take the little hits and then they'll just blow you out of the water anyway. So I chose to replace Shen with Sir Night-Eye. Sir Night-Eye has a responsibility. Once per turn, after an attack is completely blocked, seal 1 non-character card in your rival's stage or card pool, and draw 1 card. So if you blocked, or if I blocked your card, I can seal maybe an equipment heist that's in your card pool, or I can seal a problem card in your stage, and I get to draw an extra card. But we're mainly here for the enhance. An enhance only on our attack. I've removed the top card of my own deck. Dangerous, but worth it. My rival mills 3. They have to send the top 3 cards of their deck to their discard pile, and remove all non-attacks discarded this way. And then my attack gets +1 speed for every 5 cards in our rival's remove from play pile. So the reason that Cernite is here is because, yes, cycling will not remove cards from your game, from the deck. But removal effects will still shorten the deck for the next time you cycle. So then you cycle faster, and then you get burned more. So that's why Cernite and Duo are here. So Duo is a 6 hand size 26 health character, and like I said, you could start with excuse me, with Cernite, or you can start with Duo. And Duo is an all death void character. He's got Enhance, make a check of 4, so we as Duo would have to make a control check of 4 and pass it. To reveal the top 3 cards of our rival's deck. Our rival removes all non-attack cards revealed this way, and returns the rest, all attack cards to the top of their deck, face down, and they may then shuffle their deck, only playable during our attack. So again, we are taking 3 cards out of the rival's deck, and all non-attack cards are being completely removed from the game. Now, the reason I would start with Cernite as opposed to Duo is Cernite hard mills the cards. So even if they milled 1 foundation and 2 attacks, those 2 attacks are still in the discard pile not to touch us until our rival cycles. Duo puts those attacks back and lets our rival shuffle the deck. If our rival has onboard draw, they could just leave that attack on top and draw it. So that's why I would want Duo to be a mid-range character when we can try to get some of those draw cards off the board. And both of these characters are removing more and more non-attack cards from our rival's deck. Our rival is going to be cycling faster and faster, and we're going to be burning more and more. We also have an Enhance. We get to change the zone of this attack to high or mid, and it gets +1 speed. So again, a little bit of speed here and there. Pretty fun. But the pièce de résistance, our final boss of this 3v3, is Queen Elizabeth herself. She is a 6 hand size 28 health character with all death and water. She has a first form, so the very first thing that we do after we draw our cards, spend 1 momentum, add 1 card from our discard pile to our hand. We just get to pick up any card that we want for the cost of 1 momentum. And then response, commit. After we play an attack not as a block, our rival mills 8. So imagine our rival has just gone through 2 other characters. They've had to beat Cernite and Duo. They've probably lost quite a few cards to both Cernite and Duo on our respective attack turns. And now we're just going to make a mill 8. Make a mill 8. Every time we get to play an attack and commit her, we get to make our rival mill 8. And they're going to cut through their deck so quick. And they're going to take that damage at the end of the turn. Yes, so we do have to survive the turn. But if we play some good defense, I don't think it's going to be a problem. So the character setup allows us to kind of go through our rival's deck and see everything that they want to do, removing all non-attack cards, so they will be, yes, only drawing orange, but they'll also probably be checking more orange as well. So bad checks makes it so that they stumble a little bit, and we also have ways to get rid of the orange cards as well. But let's get into our attacks, the attacks that we're going to be throwing at our rival. First is Gekiken. This is a Shen attack. It's a 3 difficulty, 3 control, 3 mid 3 with a 1 low block. Very good low block there. And all of these attacks will have the all symbol. And then all the cards basically have the all symbol and might go into death attuned. So Gekiken is a punch, and it combos with a mid attack. So that means to use the combo enhance here, we have to play this immediately after playing a mid attack, which most of the deck is. I think all of the deck is. But the combo enhance is our rival has to remove 1 card in their discard pile from the game. Just, hey, go ahead and pick 1 card and just get rid of it. Now they can choose, obviously, to remove a non-attack card. But that means when they cycle, they're going to have less good checks in the deck. Or they can remove an attack and hope that that doesn't come back to bite them. And then we also have Enhance. Our rival mills 3. we're just going for the mill, baby. Next we have Danken, a 4/3, 3 mid for 2 with a 1 mid block, punch keyword. Enhance, if this attack is not blocked, draw 2 cards. Our rival's likely not going to want to block 2 damage. So this just gets us a momentum, and we get to draw 2 cards. And then enhance, our rival mills 3. Just, you love to see it. Next we have Etinceles, a 3/3, 4 mid for 1 with a 0 low block. Enhance, our next mid attack this turn gets +3 speed. Pretty good. We're going to guarantee these little pokes hit. And then enhance, lose 2 health, add 1 attack with a printed difficulty of 3 or less from our discard pile from our hand. So we're losing 2 health, but we could pick up a Gekiken and then combo it from Enticeles. Or we could pick up another Enticeles, play it, lose another 2 health, pick up another one, and we can loop those abilities from Duo or Night Eye to constantly, each time we play an attack, force our rival to lose more cards out of their deck. We also have Ultimate Killer Head Ram. This is the ultra rare from E Honda from the 30th Anniversary Street Fighter. It is a 5 difficulty, 2 control, 3 mid for 5 with a 3 mid block. It's got multiple 2 and slam. Multiple 2 is a keyword ability that says enhance, spend X momentum. X equals up to our multiple rating, so we can spend 1 or 2 momentum for this multiple 2. And for each momentum we spend, we add the top card of our deck to our card pool face down as a copy of Ultimate Killer Head Ram, and we add it to the attack stack, which means as soon as Ultimate Killer Head Ram resolves, we go immediately into the enhanced step of the first copy. So this can become 3 attacks if we have the momentum to do so, and with these small attacks like Enticeles and Danken and Gekiken, our rival's not going to want to block those. So that's multiple. So this could be 3 mid 5, 3 mid 5, 3 mid 5. Now the multiple copies will not have the abilities of Ultimate Killer Head Ram, but they will have the stats, and they will have their own enhanced step for Sir Night Eye and Duo to do their thing. And Ultimate Killer Head Ram has an enhance. Our rival mills cards until they have milled 4 4 non-attack cards. So on the low end, it's mill 4 if they just hit 4 non-attack cards. But if they hit foundation, attack, foundation, attack, attack, foundation, foundation, that's like 6 cards. On top of the Sir Night Eye milling 3, on top of the Duo just getting rid of their non-attack cards. If you play this as a Duo, you can use Duo's ability, just rip their non-attack cards out of the deck, and then say, hey, now that you've shuffled your attacks into your deck, mill until you hit 4 non-attack cards, and let's see how many non-attack cards you get now. So, very good way to rush through your rival's deck. Of course, you can't have an all-mill deck in Retro without Final Exam Gutshot. It's a 4/3, 3 mid for 6, 2 low block, Flash, Fury, and Punch. Flash is a static keyword ability that says you skip this attack's enhanced step. So it's really rough to play with Duo or Night Eye. But as Elizabeth, it's really cool because you only have to worry about your own response. And the response on Gutshot says after you play this attack, your rival mills 8. So if you play this and then commit Elizabeth, your rival mills 16 cards after you've already been removing all of their non-attack cards from the game. That's huge. And then last but not least, we have Turn It Up, a 4/3, 5 mid for 2, again, something they won't want to block likely, 2 low block, charge, and ranged. As an enhance, both players mill 1. If your rival did not mill an attack, this ability may be played again this enhanced step. You can keep playing this ability until your rival hits an attack. Which, granted, if you're chewing through all of their non-attack cards, they're going to hit an attack pretty quickly. But if you play this early and you're chewing through their non-attack cards, and then you use Duo or Night Eye to hit even more non-attack cards, you just keep going and going and going. And then enhance, this attack is plus X damage. X equals the printed block modifier, or not printed block modifier, but the block modifier of the top card of either player's discard pile. So let's say you milled an ultimate killer head ram, you can get +3 damage to this, make it a 5 mid 5. Pretty cool. So your attack lineup is all about just ripping cards out of your rival's deck, except for Etinceles, which is just here to pick up more copies of itself and more copies of Gekiken to try to remove cards from your rival's discard pile and just keep getting access to your mill enhances. Onto our non-attack cards, we start with Military Airship. This is a 3/5, 2 high block unique, so you can only have one in your stage at a time. Enhance Commit frees this card, so it will not ready during our next ready phase. Add 1 card from your card pool to your hand. We play Gut Shot. They mill 8. We play Gekiken. They remove a card from their discard pile. We Military Airship to pick up Gut Shot. We play Gut Shot on a 5. They mill 8. This whole deck is designed to say, hey, you're just not going to get to play the game. I mean, you can. It's not like you're going to run out of cards. I'm just going to keep making you cycle through all your cards as fast as possible. And then we have another asset, Earphone Jack, a 1/5/1 high block with unique and weapon. Response, excuse me. After you play an attack, your rival mills 1. If the attack you played is a charge attack, it gets +1 speed. So only one of our attacks is a charge, I believe. Only one of our attacks is a charge, but we don't care about the speed. We just care about the, hey, every time I play an attack, you're gonna mill 1. You're gonna mill 1. You're gonna mill an orange card, and then Night Eye's gonna hit 3 gray cards off the top of your deck and get him out of here. Or Duo's gonna remove 2 attacks and then, or 2 foundations, then you're gonna shuffle, and then when I play another card, you're gonna mill an attack because you're out of gray cards. It's just here to poke. It's just here to poke. And then we have another response, Commit. After your attack deals damage, you get to ready a foundation that has not been readied this combat phase. So if our final attack that we want to play hits, we just get to ready up one of our good foundations. And I did choose to throw in 2 backups. First is Scumbug Inscrutable Insect, a 4/5, 6 stamina backup, 0 mid block. Elusive, Unique, and Ally. Elusive meaning that your rival's first attack each turn cannot target Scumbug, because backups are allowed to be attacked. And this is one your rival might want to attack. Because as an enhance, we get to look at the top card of either player's deck, and we may have that player mill 1. So every enhance, every time we play an attack, we can discard 1 with Earphone Jack. We can mill or get rid of up to 3 cards with Duo and Night Eye. And Scumbug's constantly going to also just poke cards out of their deck. Plus all of the milling abilities with Ultimate Killer Head Ram, Turn It Up, Gekiken. It's just really, really solid. And then it has a response. If it is attacked, we do get to draw a card, which is pretty cool. And then Spiraling Fetch, a 3/5, 4 stamina, 2 low block, unique ally, party, and thief. While it is in our stage, our character is considered a thief. That doesn't matter. But we do have Enhanced Commit. This attack gets +2 speed. Remove the top card of our rival's deck. So, again, that card is being completely removed from the game, just like with Night Eye, just like with Duo, just like with the Duncan combo, or is it the Gekiken combo? It is the Gekiken combo. So even when they cycle, they don't get that card back, and that makes their deck permanently smaller. So pretty cool. Your rival will want to get rid of this as quickly as possible, because we're just going to keep saying, hey, our little attack's going to hit, guarantee, get us a momentum for when we become Elizabeth, and we're just going to get rid of a card off the top of your deck. Onto our foundations, we have Last of Her Line. This is a 2/5, 3 mid block. It's got Elizabeth Enhance, so we can only use the enhance of this ability when we become our final boss form. And that enhance says, sacrifice this foundation. If your attack deals damage, ready your character. So we play Gut Shot, we mill 16, and maybe our rival blocks it and they don't have anything left in their hand. We can just play, hey, here's this little attack. I'm going to pop Last of Her Line so that if this hits, I get to ready Elizabeth, play another attack, mill you another 8. But it also has enhanced commit. This attack gets your attack is +1 speed for every 10 cards in your rival's discard pile. So as we're filling up their discard pile, we can guarantee that our attacks are going to hit for cards like Earphone Jack or Last of Her Line, or just to get momentum to fuel our characters or our multiple ability with Ultimate Killer Head Ram. We have Memories from Ashes, a 2/5/3 high block. Response commit: after you play an attack, your rival mills 1. Pretty cool. It's just commit for Earphone Jack, but here's another cool one. Enhance your all and death attack, so it has to share both symbols. Gets +2 speed. If it deals damage, your rival mills 2. That's why we're here, because that means Gekiken, Danken, and Tinseles, these all say I get +2 speed, and if you don't block 1 damage, you're going to lose 2 cards off the top of your deck. And that can open up for, you know, Killer Head Ram moves or gut shot hits, or we're just forcing our rival we're putting our rival in a bad situation. We have Hizoku Prince, a 0/6. It has no block. We're not allowed to block with it. But as a static, it cannot be removed from our stage by effects, so our rival cannot destroy it or remove it. Pretty good. And then we have an enhance, lose 1 health. Your rival mills 1, only playable during our attack. Now that's kind of tricky when you're just playing 1 6-hand size character. But because we have 3 characters with a minimum of 26 health, that's what, 53, 71 health that we get to chew through to constantly make our rival mill more and more and more. Over the course of 3 characters, this could actually put in a lot of work. Next we have Ozeki, a 2/5/2 low block from E Honda. Enhanced commit, your attack is +2 damage. If it's blocked, your rival removes 2 cards in their discard pile from the game. So again, we're putting some damage on these things, even though our rival might not want to block them. But if we're using some of these, if our attack deals damage abilities, or if our attack is not blocked, then Ozeki says, hey, you can either let me ready my character, or you can remove 2 cards from your discard pile. Which, again, a bad situation. Either they're going to mill 8, or they're going to permanently lose 2 cards out of their discard pile. Wandering Pirate, always a 1-of if you can play it. It's a 2/4 with no block, unique. As a static, after our rival's combat phase begins, we get to ready this foundation, which is awesome. And as a response twice per turn, after this foundation is readied or committed, we get to ready 1 other foundation that has not been readied this combat phase, and that's a Tenacious ability. It's playable while the card is committed. So if we commit it and another card to pass a check, so we turn 2 sideways, we get to ready the other one. And then when this readies during our rival's turn, we get to ready another foundation. And then if we commit it to pass a block, we get to ready something else. Or if we ready it with Earphone Jack at the end of the turn, we get to ready something else. So it's just a really cool tech piece that just extends so much. We have Profane Sanctuary, a 0/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance once per turn, both players mill 2. So we also have to mill 2, but we're going to be turbo milling our rival real quick. And then response flip, after our rival plays a breaker ability, we get to cancel it, so they do not get to try to check hack us with breaker abilities. We have a Worthy Vessel and a lot of high blocks in this deck. A 1/5/3 high block, enhance flip, remove 1 card from either player's discard pile. So we just get to say, hey, I know Night Eye and Duo are getting rid of your non-attack cards. A Worthy Vessel is going to be getting rid of your attack cards so that you don't get to attack me anymore. And then once per turn, we can lose 1 health to give this attack +2 or -2 damage. It's mainly in here for the remove ability. Just like Villains Defeated, a 2/5/2 high block. Response flip, after you discard any number of cards due to your rival's effect, you may draw 1 card, playable while this card is committed. But it's mainly here for the response flip. After your rival's blocked attack resolves, remove it from play, and gain 2 health. So we get to gain some health back, and we remove the blocked attack. So, yeah, it might have dealt damage on a partial, but that attack is out of the game for good, and we don't have to worry about it. One less attack they get back when they cycle. We have Specialist of Sound, a 2/5 3 low block response. After we check this card, we get to look at the top card of our deck so we can see if we can continue our string. And response commit after after an attack is played, it gets -3 speed. It's just a solid good bit of speed hate here. We have Detailing the Plan, a 2/5 2 mid block. Response, after you block with this card, draw 1 card, which is good on defense, getting more cards to block with. And if the blocked attack had throw, which means even if it's completely blocked, it still deals half damage, that attack deals no damage. And then we have a Sir Night-Eye Enhance, commit your character. Your rival mills 6. So it's a smaller version of Elizabeth, and say we've already blocked a card and used Night-Eye to seal a card and then draw. We can then just use Detailing the Plan to commit our Night-Eye, and our rival has to mill 6. So really solid ability there. We have Defending Pageant Queen, a 2/5 3 high block. Enhance remove, reduce this attack speed to 1. Just really good speed hate. We have Urameshi Perseverance, a 2/5 with a 4 mid block. Ally and unique. As a form, we remove Urameshi's Perseverance. We spend 1 momentum. We get to pick up any card from our discard pile. So it's just like Elizabeth's first form, but it's anytime during our turn. Anytime as a form, we get to use this ability. So we're just picking up gut shots and throwing gut shots. So imagine if you have 2 momentum, you use Elizabeth's first form, pick up a gut shot, you use Urameshi's Perseverance, pick up a gut shot, and you just mill your rival for 24 cards in 2 attacks. That's gross. We have Resting Up, a 1/5 with a 3 low block. Enhance commit, this attack gets -2 speed, but if our character is committed, it gets -3 speed instead. So, aside from Night-Eye's response, our characters don't do anything on our rival's turn, and Elizabeth actively wants to commit herself, so it's just a very good bit of defense because we can commit our character to pass a check, and then this is going to count as -3 speed. More good defense, we have Invincible Iron Body, or just Invincible Body, excuse me. It is a 3/5 with a 4 mid block. First enhance, remove, reduces attacks damage to 0. We just say, hey, the first enhance we choose to do, even if we have to pass a couple of times, I'm going to turn that attack's damage to 0, so I don't got to worry about it. We have Sins of the Past. This is a cheeky little 2-of here. It's a 2/5 2 low block with unique. Response, after we play this card, either as a form or as a block, we get to selectively remove 1 card from our rival's discard pile. Again, just like Worthy Vessel and Villains Defeated, removing our rival's attacks. And then Enhance, Sacrifice, spend 1 momentum, draw 2 cards. So another good use for momentum, and we get to draw some cards. It's just solid card. And then lastly, Moment of Normalcy, a 2/5 3 high block with unique. Enhance commit, return this attack to its printed speed or damage. Usually probably going to be damage, so that we don't have to worry about taking a big hit. But that's my first, like, true look at a 3v3, and me being me trying to bend the rules of the format as much as possible, mixing in retro, because why not go full manic? And yeah, this, with as much spot removal as it has with its characters in Night-Eye and Duo, with Sins of the Past, with Worthy Vessel, with the defensive ability of Villains Defeated, and then just getting rid of all, like, removing all of their non-attack cards with Duo and Night-Eye, your rival could be down to, like, half their deck, and then once you get to Elizabeth and you're cycling for 8 to 16 cards in a single attack, they're just gonna cycle so quickly, and every time they cycle, that damage they take at the end of the turn goes up by 2. So imagine you can pick up a line with Elizabeth to make them cycle like twice in a single one of your turns after they've already cycled twice. So that's 2, 4, then they take 6 damage, and then they take 8 damage. You could almost turn the mill burn into an OTK on its own. So you're not worried that your attacks aren't doing damage, because that mill damage is going to stack up. Now, I'm not saying this is perfect. I'm not even saying this is great, but this is going to be really freaking infuriating to play against if they allow you to cross the streams and do a retro 3v3. So this is combining possibly my favorite format with kind of my new pet format in trying to figure out how to make it a deck like 3v3 work. And yeah, it turns out that the old King of Fighters sets, where they were teams of 3 and each team shared 2 symbols amongst each other and had synergistic abilities, is really good for a 3v3 format. I just happened to replace Team Elizabeth's 3rd character with a much better character in Sir Night-Eye. But what do you guys think? Do you think that... One, do you think they would ever let you do a mix of 2 formats like this with retro and 3v3? I don't think they will. I think that is way too much to have to deal with. But also, what do you think of this way to try to abuse Mill, even though you're not going to be able to get rid of all the cards in their deck? It's using Mill as a burn strategy. I think it's interesting, and I'm really glad that I let my brain try to explore this. But let me know in the comments below what you thought, what you think of the deck. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. Most of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed, and it would just help the channel out a lot. And leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.